Introducing a piece of history, the Seiko 5722-9991. And this one is grand. When I first laid eyes on it, it knocked my socks off. This thing is perfection. It has unbelievable presence on the wrist with a low center of gravity, bold, dynamic look that screams quality. It's a testament to the greatness of Grand Seiko. When you're holding this watch, it is very easy to feel the extreme positive impression of quality, even at 55 years old. Wow. This watch is Grand Seiko's second ever timepiece, but it is their first stainless steel watch and first watch with a date complication. Produced by the Suwa factory from 1963 to 1968, a short 5-year run. I will do a quick breakdown on the 3 major versions. The first one I call the 43GS. The movement back then was named Caliber 430. It said chronometer under the Seiko logo, Gothic typeface for Grand Seiko above the 6 o'clock, made in Japan to the left of the 6 o'clock indice, 43999 to the right. Now there was a variation of the 43GS that had 18 karat white gold applied indices, and the star logo under the word Grand Seiko was a little bit different. So those 2 variations, 43GS, are basically the same, but the little logo's different and white gold. So that's the first major version. Then Grand Seiko renames Caliber 430 to 5722A. That one is the 5722-9990. Made in Japan is taken off the dial. It just says Japan now. The little star logo is gone above the 6. It still says chronometer, and just like the 43GS, it had the lion gold medallion caseback, signifying chronometer grade movement. And then the final version is this one, 5722-9991, my watch. It has an upgraded movement, Caliber 5722B. It beats at a higher rate, 19,800 VPH. Instead of 18,000, they moved the 5722 from the right of the 6 o'clock indice to the left to give a more balanced look, because the 9990 was really lopsided when they took out Made in Japan. So now they balanced it out on this version. The crown changed from a coarse cogwheel style knurling to this fine coin edge style knurling. They took away the word chronometer under the word Seiko, and they added an applied GS logo above the 6 o'clock. Why did they do this? What changed? Well, the Swiss Institute governing body ruled that Seiko was not allowed to put the word chronometer. They believed that a third party should do the certification and forced Seiko to remove the word chronometer. Seiko's response was the Grand Seiko certification standard. Today, it is called the Grand Seiko standard, which tightens up the certification. COSC is +6 to -4. The Grand Seiko standard is +5 to -3 seconds a day. So they did one better on both sides of the zero. The case is completely high polish, and when you look on the side of the case, the bezel looks tucked in like it's being swallowed up by those thick lugs. And we have a extremely high top hat domed acrylic crystal that gives you that gorgeous distortion, and the lugs are huge. They're wide, they're thick and bold, and it just completely makes the watch. Look at this. I'm gonna put it next to a 38mm khaki field. Look at that. Wow. Okay. You can tell right away the presence. It's small, but mighty on the wrist. That's what you want. You want that clean, elegant, classy look that just oozes class, but still has the ability to grab everyone's attention. Now, let's see it next to a 36mm Explorer. This one is a clone of the vintage Explorer, but you can see it has a lot less presence and just looks small. Now let's do the measurements. I got 36.5mm in diameter, thickness of 12.3, no drilled lugs, and a lug to lug of 43.1. So we do have a classic dress watch size, but with a lot more presence. Crown is push-pull, coming in at 5.3mm, giving the watch a supposed 50 meters of water resistance. And if you follow me on Instagram, you saw photos of me destroying the crown, ripping it apart, getting that old gasket out of there, almost chopped off my fingers. It's a nightmare to change the gasket on this crown. But we got a new gasket and a new caseback gasket, but we are still gonna say, because it's vintage, 0 meters of water resistance. But 50 back back then in 1963 to 68 was not bad. The case back has that gold medallion with the GS logo. Remember, the first two versions had the lion. So this one is the last version and it had the GS. The strap is 19 millimeters, tapering down to 16. And I did put an original Seiko keeper on here. This one is from my King Seiko. Now the dial is a gorgeous sunray silver. It looks white and also light gray in different lighting conditions. It's beautifully done and it's a hallmark of vintage Seiko. The hands are the typical Grand Seiko style hands that are thick and ultra sharp. Same ones that are on my King Seiko. Applied Seiko logo, applied GS logo, and a framed date window with hand-applied faceted hour markers. Now this is the self-dater, so we have to look at the date. This watch has a trick up its sleeve. Now when we go to position 1, we can change the date, right? But we could also go backwards. That's the beauty of the self-dater. I saw this movement stripped. The way the date changer metal gear works, it's symmetrical and so are the teeth of the date wheel. So it's fine to go back and forth. I wish they still made them like this. I feel like every time there is a vintage watch on the channel, I say they don't make them like they used to. So there we go again. They don't make them like they used to. The weight, 53 grams. That lightweight combined with the low center of gravity and wide, thick stance of those beautiful bold lugs, the watch will wear amazing on many different wrist shapes. Powering the 57GS is the 5722B. This one beats, still low beat, but at 19.8 VPH, 35 joules. Wow, that's insane. Tons of joules, and it's a manual wind, not an automatic. And man, look at that amplitude. 303, no error, and the rate 0000. Good job, Seiko. Okay, let's do 12 down to see that positional variance. How does this watch actually perform when you wear it? Okay, so the amplitude did drop to 79, still pretty good. Beat error remains perfect. Now let's check out the rate. 0, -1, -1, and the fourth and final round, -1. All right, decent. Now, what did I pay? I paid 2,500 Canadian dollars with a service. Okay, so I got it freshly serviced, everything all original and matching. Case, hands, crown, case back, and movement. There is a light polish on there. Make sure when you're looking for one of these, you check out the bevel, the high polished bevel. Sometimes they are over polished and there is no definition there. It's like a watered down edge and it just ruins the look. And guys, if you're still here, please remember to subscribe and like the video, and maybe check out one of the videos on the right of your screen right now, and I'll see you in the next one.